อยู่ในห้องแอร์
ไทย PBS ขอมอบของขวัญสุดพิเศษด้วยปฏิทินดิจิทัล Face of Thai PBS
ด้วยภาพของเหล่าผู้ประกาศและผู้ดำเนินรายการแบบที่คุณผู้ชมไม่เคยเห็นแล้วจะต้องร้องว้าวคุณผู้ชมสามารถสแกนดาวน์โหลดจาก QR Code ได้ตั้งแต่วันนี้เป็นต้นไปนะคะมาดาวน์โหลดกันเยอะๆนะคะมาโหลดกันค่ะโหลดเลย
Tonight on the program, we welcome the year 2025 with an outlook for Thai politics and the economy. Then the future of relations between Thailand and China celebrating their 50th anniversary. And we take a look at underlying environmental issues to watch out for. สวัสดีค่ะ I'm Nad Bunag and welcome to This Week with Thai PBS World. We begin the program tonight with an outlook for 2025 after a turbulent 2024 in Thai politics. The question now is whether the Patong Tan government will survive its term in office despite rumors of internal rifts among coalition partners. During 2024, Thai politics experienced turbulence and unexpected changes, with Prime Minister Patong Tan taking office only 4 months ago. With no experience in politics, critics are certain that her rise to the helm would have been much more difficult without her father Thaksin's presence. In fact, Thaksin is widely considered to be the de facto leader of the Pheu Thai-led government or even the real Prime Minister. Some have accused him of dominating the Prime Minister and her administration, hence the nickname Daddy's Government given by the Thai Press Corps. Former Prime Minister and former Democrat Party leader Chon Leek Pai expressed his views during a talk show on Thai PBS on the current political situation, especially Thaksin's influence over the government.
ก็คงต้องเลี้ยงลูกประคับประคองให้ลูกทำงานไปได้จึงได้มีปฏิกิริยาออกมาหลายอย่างมันเหมือนไปชดเชยสิ่งที่ลูกทำไม่ได้ก็เพื่อมีส่วนในการทำให้ภาพพจน์ของลูกดีขึ้นก็เนี่ยจะเป็นส่วนหนึ่งแต่ว่าถ้ามองภาพรวมอย่าไปสนใจเรื่องตัวบุคคลนะเพราะว่าตัวบุคคลนี่เป็นเรื่องที่ตอบยากเพราะคนก็ถามทั้งในประเทศต่างประเทศล้วนแต่ถามมาเหมือนกันว่าประเทศไทยมาอยู่สภาพอย่างนี้ได้อย่างไรสภาพอยู่ได้อย่างไรซึ่งเราก็ตอบยากแต่ว่าถ้าตอบสั้นๆที่สุดก็เป็นเรื่องของครอบครัวประเทศไทยอยู่ภายใต้ประโยชน์ของครอบครัวถึงได้เป็นอย่างนี้
Chon further commented that Thaksin's presence is probably meant to fill areas in which Patong Tan is still lacking as a politician. At the same time, it may have been a strategy for the Pheu Thai party to secure victory in the next general election. Amid speculation that the ruling government may not survive, considering internal conflicts among coalition parties, Chon still believes that the government has a comfortable majority, even if one of its coalition partners decides to quit, which also means that Patong Tan can still survive until the next general election.
สำคัญก็คือว่ารัฐบาลมันต้องมีหลักให้เกิดความเชื่อมั่นได้ต่อในและนอกว่ารัฐบาลนี้เป็นรัฐบาลที่มีความมั่นคงเพราะฉะนั้นการที่คุณทักษิณเข้ามาช่วยลูกผมว่าถ้าอยู่ในกรอบก็เป็นเรื่องหนึ่งแต่ว่าถ้าครอบงำมันก็ผิดกฎหมายนะแต่ว่าทั้งหมดที่เราเห็นการแสดงออกเนี่ยในความเห็นผมว่ายิ่งกว่าครอบงำครับแต่ว่าอะไรก็ตามทำไมก็ไม่แสดงภายในกันออกมาแสดงข้างนอกกันมันต้องมีเป้าหมายบางอย่างในแง่ว่าหนึ่งก็เสริมให้ตัวลูกได้รับการยอมรับมากขึ้นสองก็จะเป้าหมายก็คือผลการเลือกตั้งครั้งต่อไปก็อย่างที่เขาพูดเอาไว้ว่าเขาต้องการ200 เสียงในวันข้างหน้าเพื่อซึ่งก็เป็นไปได้ถ้าสมมติเราใช้วิธี เช่นแจกเงินการแจกเงินนี้ได้ผลนะครับ
เดี๋ยวอันนี้แจกเงินนี่หมายถึง
การแจกเงินที่ทำกันอยู่เนี่ยคนละหมื่นเนี่ย
อ๋อโครงการเงิน
มันจะ
ดิจิทัล
ได้ผลนะมันจะได้ผลในเรื่องที่ไม่รู้ละของฟรีเนี่ยคนได้เนี่ยอย่างน้อยก็เป็นหนี้บุญคุณเพราะฉะนั้นอันนี้ก็อย่าไปคิดว่าเป็นเรื่องที่หลายฝ่ายก็รู้ว่ามันเรื่องขัดต่อวินัยการเงินคลังก็จริงแต่ว่านักการเมืองส่วนหนึ่งก็ไม่สนใจเขาสนใจว่าทำอย่างไรถึงจะสามารถผูกมัดคนเอาไว้ในการเลือกตั้งได้
Meanwhile, the biggest challenge for the Patong Tan government in 2025 will be the delivery of the promises, especially those made during her televised address last year. The top priority now is Thailand's economy, over which the Prime Minister has been criticized for not addressing the challenges well enough. Dr. Panithan Wattanayakon commented that the economic recovery will be a huge task, stating that if the economy is not revived, other problems will follow.
This is the year of perhaps a real test. In the past, of course, there's limited honeymoon period of the new government. But given the fact that Thailand was in turmoil many years ago, I think people were willing to give a chance to whoever comes to office. But now the real challenge has begun. Can you inject more financial assistance in real terms to the economy? Can you revive the economy? The business sector is very worried that we are not able to revive the economy last year, although in certain sectors, tourism, for example, is not that bad. But it's more than that. We need more sectors to start up, to move forward. That requires Thailand to engage in a real reform, real issues of the economy. And if not successful, more challenges in politics will come on top of these issues. For example, security issues, border issues, transitional issues, including ex-leadership who are believed to be very important in Thai politics. These are the issues that will be more complicated this year.
And speaking of the Thai economy, while it appears to have been gradually recovering since the third quarter of 2024, economists warn that the country may encounter economic uncertainties in the new year, driven by Trump's tariff policies and subdued consumer confidence. Frank Han-Shi joins me now to explain more. So Frank, what are the implications for Thailand's economy, especially when considering geopolitics and the trade war?
Ned, you're right at one part because Thailand's economy right now is recovering on tourism industry, on government expenditure and exports. But Thailand still needs to face some challenges ahead in 2025. The first one we have to talk about is Trump's policy, because Trump's policy, particularly tariff policy, will be very impactful to Thailand's economy because Thailand's economy right now is facing this tariff part. Of course, we should say that Trump vows to reduce trade deficit there by implementing tariff. And of course, more than 70% of total export to the United States have fallen into the category of tariff. And Thailand's industry, including electronics, automobile, and parts, are also included in this category. And this trend effect also links to China because the overcapacity in China, including the production of products here, the companies in China, they have to find overseas market to balance that revenue there. So Thailand will be affected. Another part we have to talk about is central banks policy rate cut there because, of course, the Monetary Policy Committee of Bank of Thailand maintained that 2.25% policy rate since October 2024. So, but some economists say that U.S. Federal Reserve, they might cut the rate in 2025 too, multiple times. So actually, BOT might need to follow the rate cut. Another one we have to talk about is low consumer confidence because this is the overall sentiment on the ground. And according to SCB Economic Intelligence Center, they have a survey there that 60% expect Thailand's economy to get worse. There's another sentiment there because there's very low demand of a new vehicle and new accommodation. So how to drive the economy is the key part for Thailand's government, Ned.
Then what should the Thai government prioritize to address these economic uncertainties?
So an international organization actually gives recommendations to Thai authorities there, because the first one you can see on the screen right now, central bank's policy rate, that we just talk about, because right now the rate caps at 2.25%, but the organization recommends to cut the rate to 2% throughout the year in 2025. And of course, because it will incentivize more cash flow in the market and alleviation of loan pressure. Thailand's household debt, of course, is another one that we also talk about, because also in our program, we always cover that. And right now, of course, in Q3, third quarter in 2024, we see that decrease on the shy of 90% there, but it's still high, meaning in comparison to other ASEAN countries there. So, but we can see some more stringent policy there, because this policy might push borrowers to unregulated lenders. This should be a very important part. Another innovation in human capital, of course, if Thailand wants to maintain its competitiveness in ASEAN, innovation and human capital development are very important too. Last one, tax reform, because the financial minister actually 1 month ago just talked about to increase the VAT rate to 10%. But right now the policy has been turned out. But and this international organization still push for that, say that 7 to 10% is the way to maintain the parallel figure with other countries. But it needs time, because if, of course, the government just push that 10% rate there, this one could be jeopardized by this rate cut. Another one, of course, we have to talk about deduction of personal tax and increase of property tax here, because it will generate revenue to Thai government, because this organization identifies this 3%, additional 3% of GDP is very important, because this also could push Thailand to become a high income country. But for the brighter side, of course, we see the recovery is still ongoing, but the darker side that Thailand's government, they have to address these challenges on tax reform, household debt and Trump policy rate too. So we need to see the efficiency of Patong Tan Shinawat's government to address these challenges in 2025, Ned.
And these are very big challenges for the Patong Tan government. Thank you, Frank. And now let's have a look at the other stories making headlines throughout the week in our weekly roundup.
A spectacular New Year fireworks display lit up the sky along the Chao Phraya River as Thailand welcomed the new year at the Amazing Thailand Countdown 2025 event at Icon Siam Shopping Center. Among the highlights was a special performance by Thai K-pop sensation Lisa of Blackpink, which was her first performance at a countdown event in her home country. Many countdown events also took place across the capital, such as at Central World, One Bangkok, and Wat Arun Ratchawararām. Prime Minister Patong Tan Shinawat said in her New Year's message that 2025 will be a year of opportunities for all Thai people. The Prime Minister said Thailand was mired in economic crises in 2024, mainly due to a global economic slowdown, international conflicts, and trade sanctions. Meanwhile, opposition leader Nathapong Rungpanyawut urged the Thai public not to lose hope, as he promised that opposition parties will consistently perform their duty to check the government's performance. 5 elderly people were killed and about 30 others were injured when their chartered bus on a journey which began in Betong district of Yala province skidded off the road and struck a tree before overturning in Surathani province. The 38 passengers, mostly the elderly, chartered the bus to take them to Betong for a sightseeing trip during the New Year holiday. A Japanese tourist was fined 3,000 bahts by police in Chiang Mai province after he resisted their attempt to stop him from launching a sky lantern in violation of a local ban on flying them on New Year's Eve. A clip of the incident was posted on social media and went viral. A police officer was seen trying to stop the tourist from launching a sky lantern, but he became angry and resisted before someone among the crowd intervened.
And apart from economic challenges, the Thai government is also facing ongoing tensions with neighboring countries, particularly with Cambodia and Myanmar. Among the simmering issues is the move to scrap the MOU 44, which was signed during the previous Thaksin administration, which the opposition claims that it undermines Thailand's territorial rights.
In 2024, Thailand seemed to struggle to achieve mutually beneficial cooperation with neighboring countries, especially Cambodia and Myanmar, to foster economic development, stability, and peace. The previous administration of Sethar Thaksin attempted to restart negotiations with Cambodia Prime Minister Hun Manet during his February visit to Bangkok. This was aimed at resolving bilateral maritime disputes and developing a joint hydrocarbon extraction plan in the overlapping claim areas in the Gulf of Thailand. Thailand and Cambodia have made claims over these areas since the 1970s. They are mostly on a continental shelf of around 26,000 square kilometers in the Gulf, which potentially contains between 9 and 11 trillion cubic feet of natural gas, as well as 500 million barrels of condensate and oil. In 2001, the two countries signed a Memorandum of Understanding during the Thaksin administration, commonly known as MOU 44, to settle disputes and create a joint development plan. Turbulent bilateral relations and domestic political troubles have, however, derailed progress over the past 23 years. The Palang Pracharat Party filed a petition with the Constitutional Court in June last year, seeking the unilateral scrapping of the MOU on the grounds that it was not approved by Parliament before the signing. The court ruled in September, though, that the party's Secretary General had no right to file the petition and gave the green light for the government to go ahead with its implementation. But right-wing politicians and activists have not given up. Patong Tan, who replaced Sethar as Prime Minister, said in Parliament that her government would pursue negotiations with Cambodia on the overlapping claim areas, with the connected goals of achieving energy security and reducing the cost of energy. Meanwhile, prominent activist Sontit Limthongkul have amplified fears over potential loss of sovereignty and threatened to call street protests to demand that the Patong Tan government scrap the MOU. It is speculated that the demonstrations could begin in mid-January. The situation along Thailand's border with Myanmar has been tense since early 2024. In April, the Korean National Union launched attacks on Myawaddy, a Myanmar border town opposite Masot district in Thailand's Tak province, leading to the displacements of thousands of people and the disruption of cross-border trade. Tension along the Thailand-Myanmar border escalated in December when the Myanmar Navy attacked Thai fishing boats in the Andaman Sea, resulting in the death of one crew member and injuries to two others. 4 Thai crew and the vessel's captain were detained in Myanmar on charges of illegally fishing in and violation of Myanmar's maritime territory. The 4 Thai fishermen were sentenced to up to 6 years in prison. Tensions along the land border intensified. An armed ethnic group in Myanmar increased its forces and expanded its presence in border areas near Thailand's Mae Hong Son and Chiang Mai provinces. To date, there is no evidence that Patong Tan's government has a clear plan to deal with this situation in Myanmar. An inaugural meeting of the Special Task Force to address the situation has, however, been scheduled for January 13th, following months of delay. Chaired by Thailand's Foreign Minister, Marit Sangiampong, includes senior officials from key ministers and agencies. Their main role is to monitor the situation closely and develop comprehensive strategies to address the immediate and long-term impacts of the conflict.
Moving on to bilateral relations, this year marks a significant milestone, which is the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Thailand and China. Both countries have built a strong relationship over the past 5 decades. So what's next, and what sort of economic cooperation can we expect in the next coming years? Let's find out more with Gitipat Chilsukjit.
This year marks a significant milestone, the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Thailand and China. Over the past 50 years, the two countries have built a strong partnership, which is now a key part of regional cooperation. July 1st, 1975 was a turning point. According to Dr. Paichit Vibulthanasan, because it laid the foundation for 5 decades of growing diplomatic, trade and cultural ties.
50 ปีมันก็เป็นหมุดหมายนะครับที่น่าสนใจที่แสดงนัยสำคัญของความสัมพันธ์ทางการทูตที่มันแนบแน่นนะครับที่มันดำเนินมาอย่างยาวนานแล้วก็เกิดเป็นรูปธรรมในหลายด้านทั้งที่จริงๆแล้วไทยกับจีนเนี่ยก็จะมีแล้วก็มีระบอบการปกครองที่แตกต่างกันนะแต่เราก็สามารถที่จะสานความสัมพันธ์ความร่วมมือระหว่างกันในหลากหลายมิตินะครับได้เป็นอย่างดี
Today, their cooperation goes beyond government efforts. Thai businesses were among the first to invest in China when it opened up, and China is now investing heavily in Thailand. This anniversary isn't just about looking back, it's a chance to think about what comes next. China is among Thailand's top trading partners and investors. The recent pre-travel visa-free policy has also boosted tourism, helping people from both countries to connect more easily.
การดำเนินนโยบายวีซ่าฟรีแบบถาวรที่ผ่านมานะผมคิดว่ามันจะเป็นกระดานดีดสำคัญที่ทำให้การไปมาหาสู่ระหว่างกันระหว่างคนไทยและคนจีนเพิ่มมากขึ้นในอนาคตนะตัวเนี้ยมันจะเป็นสิ่งที่ทำให้เป็นพื้นฐานสำคัญที่จะทำให้ความร่วมมือในมิติด้านอื่นๆจะเกิดขึ้นเช่นการแลกเปลี่ยนทางด้านวัฒนธรรมนะครับการแลกเปลี่ยนทางด้านการศึกษาที่เราคุยเมื่อสักครู่นี้นะหรือแม้กระทั่งถ้าเรามองเนี่ยมันจะเป็นพื้นฐานสำหรับการพัฒนามิติด้านเศรษฐกิจและความร่วมมืออื่นๆอีกมากมาย
There are challenges though, as China grows stronger economically. Geopolitical tensions, especially between China and the United States, could impact regional dynamics. According to Dr. Paichit, the Trump presidency might be one of the factors that could affect the Sino-Thai relationship.
มองในมิติด้านหนึ่งนะก็เป็นภัยคุกคามเพราะว่าสไตล์การบริหารงานหรือการดำเนินนโยบายของท่านประธานาธิบดีทรัมป์เนี่ยนะผมคิดว่ามีลักษณะที่ค่อนข้างชัดเจนนะแล้วก็อยากให้อีกฝ่ายหนึ่งมีความชัดเจนนะว่าโทษนะคุณอยู่ข้างผมแต่เราเนี่ยอย่างที่เราบอกว่าเราอยากเป็นประเทศเป็นกลางนะลักษณะแบบนี้ก็อาจจะทำให้การดำเนินนโยบายของเราในส่วนของการต่างประเทศมีความท้าทายมากขึ้นนะครับเรื่องการค้าการลงทุนในมิติด้านเศรษฐกิจก็จะมีความท้าทายมากขึ้นเช่นเดียวกันนะครับแต่ถ้าเรามองว่านี่อาจจะเป็นโอกาสก็ได้นะครับเพราะว่าเราอาจจะเป็นฐานการผลิตที่จะรองรับการลงทุนทั้งจากจีนหรือแม้กระทั่งสหรัฐและชาติพันธมิตรให้มาใช้ไทยเป็นฐานการผลิตใหญ่แล้วก็ผลิตเพื่อส่งออกไปยังอีกค่ายหนึ่งคือถ้าบอกว่าจีนผลิตแล้วส่งสินค้าไปขายสหรัฐอเมริกาในอนาคตถ้าสหรัฐแอคทีเวตเรื่องของอากรนำเข้าที่มันเพิ่มสูงขึ้นมันก็จะเกิดปัญหาตามมาว่าสินค้าจีนก็จะไม่สามารถส่งออกเข้าสู่ตลาดสหรัฐได้
Despite these risks, opportunities abound. Chinese innovation, from green energy to high-speed rail, presents avenues through which Thailand could learn and grow. Looking ahead, the next 50 years will require both nations to expand their cooperation across sectors, building not just economic gains, but also stronger cultural and educational ties.
ถ้าเรามองไปในเป้าหมายระดับกลางของเขาคือปี 2035 ผมประเมินว่ามูลค่าการค้าโดยรวมของเขานะจะอยู่สัก10 ล้านเหรียญสหรัฐอย่างน้อยเราน่าจะเห็น 4-4.5 ล้านเหรียญสหรัฐของการนำเข้านะเพราะจีนส่วนใหญ่ก็จะบริหารจัดการการนำเข้าส่งออกให้เกินดุลการค้าได้เสมอเพราะความสามารถในการแข่งขันเขาค่อนข้างดีนั่นหมายความว่านั่นกำลังพูดถึง 8-9 เท่าของขนาดเศรษฐกิจเราในปัจจุบันนะตรงนี้ก็เป็นโอกาสนะสำหรับเราที่เราจะฝากความหวังนะในการที่จะสานต่อทำยุทธศาสตร์การค้าการส่งออกสินค้าเรานะครับทั้งสินค้าและบริการเข้าสู่ตลาดจีนนะในระยะยาวได้
As Thailand and China celebrate their shared past, they are also setting the stage for an even more interconnected and prosperous future. Kittipat Sukhjit, reporting for Thai PBS World.
And we'll end the program with another important issue, which is the environment. Last year, Thailand experienced severe flooding in many regions, highlighting the vulnerability to climate change. The country ranks as the 9th most affected country by climate change, according to the Global Risk Index in 2021. Given these challenges, this year should be the year in which Thailand prioritizes climate resilience. Warisa Razahan has more details.
Climate resilience is the term that we might need to think of more this year. In 2024, the severe flooding in Thailand resulted in damages amounting to 30 billion baht. Are there things we can do to prevent or at least try to reduce the impact? And here is what an expert from International Union for Conservation of Nature has to say.
Urban climate resilience is to prepare the urban system that can absorb the change. Something like, I would say the change or disturbance will be the flood this year. So how can the city have ability to resist or adapt or transform? If we choose to resist, maybe we have to defend ourselves against the flood. But if we adapt or we transform, maybe we can see another aspect that we can live with the water.
According to the Bank of Thailand, the country ranks 39th out of 48 countries in its ability to cope with natural disasters. National plans for disaster reduction have largely relied on grey infrastructure or human-engineered solutions like dams and drainage systems. The IUCN expert suggests alternatives, nature-based solutions, which help societies develop resilience to challenges, such as natural disasters and climate change.
Nature-based solution is the English word that we adapt from the people around the world that working on the ecosystem-based approach when they try to use ecosystem to tackle the societal challenge such as climate change, ecosystem degradation, disaster risks or food security.
Pakasem emphasizes the importance of educating people about the potential impacts of climate change and fostering collaboration between governments and conservation efforts. This is a vital first step towards building climate resilience through global standard nature-based solutions.
The goal is to planning the city to be able to face the future climate scenario in the city. And then when you got the data and you got the assessment for our work, we try to help the government in the province and all the stakeholders to plan with the climate scenario by using nature.
To address these issues, the IUCN and the Office of Natural Resources and Environmental Policy and Planning have launched a pilot project called Urban Resilient Building with Nature in Chiang Rai and Surat Thani provinces. This project, which is expected to be completed by 2028, aims to strengthen urban resilience by leveraging nature to protect communities, enhance infrastructure, and ensure a sustainable future. While Thailand has some policies that incorporate disaster risk reduction and nature-based solutions, they fall short of meeting global standards. The IUCN's approach offers a new hope for Thailand, a long-term, sustainable path to addressing disaster risks and climate change.
And that wraps up tonight's edition of This Week with Thai PBS World. Join us every Friday at 10:30 p.m. only on Thai PBS. And don't forget to follow us on social media and our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest updates about Thailand as well as analyses. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next Friday. สวัสดีค่ะ